All right, greetings everyone. It is time to do a news video. My jaw and tooth are still very much bugging me, but we shall persist for the sake of the news. And my hair is very coiffed today, apparently, because it's still kind of wet. It'll get fluffier as it dries. All right, so starting off with global, looks like there is a championship going on. New Transcendence group, including Resnick, Yerma, Al, Durando, Mariluk, and Mish. And for my perspective, taking a look, Mish, maybe some people will be interested in him. Don't think any of the MRs are super great. Yerma is a pass from at least the JP perspective, and Resnick, last but not least, is the only one here that is particularly worth looking at, but only for very specific accounts who are doing the lightning thing. Other than that, I mean, that's basically it. Not too much else to talk about here. Looks also like that global, looks like also that maybe, possibly, if certainly, you guys are going to be getting the legendary reliquaries releases. So JP has this as well. You guys will be getting in. Obviously, I haven't finished mine yet because I've been too busy with other things and whatnot to really do this. But if I sat down, I'm sure I could do it, and I'm sure you can do it too. Important thing here is that the Blood Sword and the Genji Glove are absolutely worth trying for. There are guides out there, and I'm sure globalers will find their own particular way forward through this. The first one, I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it should be noted that from JP players, basically I think there was like too many people who did the first one, and so they made the second and third more difficult, just as a heads up for people. All right, next up, and last thing that we need to talk about global this week is global's new vision card and Esper. And we're going to talk about Dark Bahamut here. Or, let me see. Yeah, no, he is called Dark Bahamut. Okay, all right. This is the vision card is obviously great for light and dark. We've talked about that before. But for the people who just need to hear it one more time about this Esper, it is a premium Esper on a premium vision card. The vision card, I think, helps light and dark more. Chaos Bahamut is a definitely top tier attacker based summon, and really the closest thing I think we're ever going to get to a strike Esper that is you are amazing quality kind of thing. So for people who are all in and want to do the strike thing, this is a pretty good thing to get. For light and dark aficionados, I think this should be at least worthy of a good number of tries. And for people who are missing Chaos Odin and regular Odin and don't have particularly other means of accessing, maybe you're a brand new player, this is a pretty good Esper to just get, because this light and dark are both pretty newbie friendly. And this Esper is of the same quality and caliber of both of the Odins. Yeah, I mean, if you're short on really good physical Espers, this is one of the best physical Espers in the game. And if we just go back here for a second as we tour through all of my Espers, get to the one I want. You know, this is Chaos Odin's stats for comparison. And if we go even further back, I mean, not looking at a few other things, but anyway, just focus, get through this. We also have just regular Odin somewhere back here. I swear, this isn't like a brag video. There's almost no point to it. But I thought that the organization was a little bit better than this. There he is. So, yeah, regular Odin is still pretty premium, and I would say that Chaos Bahamut, Dark Bahamut, is definitely pretty good, but worthy of a pity. For people who already have both Odins, definitely not. But I think that everybody could probably pull the first, if the first pull is there's a discount, like it's 1500 Lapis, there's worse ways to spend Lapis. in this game, like 1,000 of them. So, you know, maybe give it a shot, see if you get lucky, and pick up a fantastic, cool dragon. All right, and on JP, there isn't really too terribly much. News hasn't broken yet because, and we kind of already know what's going to happen. It's Dark Shiva, and Dark Shiva will see what her vision card looks like, what it's particularly giving, but it will be focused around new Jaden. And okay, all right, so we're gonna have to wait and see what Jaden like is getting off of this vision card to figure out if it's really worthy of a 40, potentially investing 40k or not, how it'll affect Ice and Dark. I assume it'll be geared towards more magic units because obviously, but that's not the other thing. I actually wanted to share a little bit of news from the JP side that because of some promotionary advertisements that have been popping up, we actually know that Bridal Alaya is coming as of June 1st. And by the word I just said, I mean she will be added to the game and will be the next gacha unit. So yeah, glad to see that they aren't going to be separating. I'm hoping that between these two units, they're going to share a fair amount of synergy together, and like hopefully because we're getting a dual elemental vision card and these two are showing up around the same time, well, there's just so many double entendres that could be inferred. I'm hoping that Alaya is going to be a water-based unit, you know, maybe not necessarily a gunner, maybe she'll be an archer or something a little bit different from what her base version is. But that way, you know, you have Jaden Ice, you have Alaya Water, maybe they're both magical-based units, and they can share the vision card and everything. That would be a pretty neat way of doing this kind of event and characters, and I think we need maybe a little bit more of that, because a lot of the time the community sees this kind of stuff like, why is this character that? Why didn't they do this? This feels very logical, very sensible and all of that. And Ice and Water seem to be having a bit of a renaissance anyway. Of course, I'm still behind on doing Jaden for his review because, well, I've just been busy. Tears of the Kingdom, and last but not least, Wotv Calc still hasn't updated, and I'm not sure why. I didn't really bother too terribly much. And yeah, so a couple other things is besides the fact that I'll be getting the Jaden review out soon, especially when my jaw is just see if I can power through it tonight. And the other thing that I wanted to show off was to do with the fact that I've actually 140 snow here, because I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in the specific Jaden review, but one of the things that is pretty nice, and I can't show it on this unit because has already been finished. Damn it. I'm trying to think. Ooh. Is a 120 unit that I haven't actually upgraded yet. Let's go with you, because probably one of the quality of life updates that's been finally put into JP is just having this in this screen. This has been missing forever. A slider here is just particularly very nice, and I'm happy to finally have this feature. It would be nice if it had been gotten here maybe a little bit sooner, but still it makes life a little bit easier. And heads up for people to do with one of the events that is currently going on for the 3.5 anniversary, which is a multi-battle against the weird enemy weapon boss. I'm actually going to just go in by myself, because I just want to show this off, and let's kill Otto for a second. Yes, I know I don't have a party. It's fine. This is one of the definite ones that you cannot just auto. It is actually quite difficult to do from what I've seen so far. So you're looking at about, you can see we got all these little guys here. There's lots of different status effects. You can get absolutely nailed, and I'm just actually going to fail. You can see how much. Originally, I kind of wanted to show off. So you can see there, we got pretty well destroyed. And yeah, this is a fairly overtuned boss, as you can see, maybe in terms of stats and everything, compared to a lot of enemies. Just reading the list all the way down here is ridiculous, and no status effects. You're going to have to freeze frame that if you want to see it, because of the stupid timer. I still hate exists in shit like this. I mean, I know why it exists, because some people cannot be trusted, but still. So yeah, just a little bit of a brief peek there at that event and what is going on there. I will also do just a little bit of a summary. There's been a bunch of people going around doing and upgrading older Final Fantasy characters. Recently, Cecil, Rosa, Kain, Titus, Yuna, Auron, Noctis, Prompto, Aranea, Golbez, Lightning, Hope, and Snow have all been increased to 140, and all of them now have Master Ability 2s for the ones who didn't have it before. And really quickly, I'm just going to give a bit of a summary of what I've seen so far, who is working, who's not working, and who has the potential to work in the future. So let's go. Really quickly, and I'm going to mark this in my brain for when to time this. Or Cecil. Cecil, I think, actually can work. I'm not going to go so far as to say that he is a better replacement than Warrior of Light or some other light-based characters. But if you already have a Cecil laying around and you have a Wing Stern and a Bartz, which is, possible, then it's only one of those characters really needs to be gotcha'd on global. Cecil is fairly decent with his 140. I'm not going to go so far because there are barrier removals. His kit overall is still generally old, but I think in the combination with Bartz and Wing Stern, he can finally get somewhere and actually could be a little bit of a competitive unit. Again, not going to go so far as to say that he's the best, but all in all, better than I thought he'd be. Rosa, I haven't seen anybody really investing into her. I'm sure that there are places where she could be useful, especially with the way Ice is kind of going maybe towards Magic with some new characters. But as for right now, don't think that she is still good enough. Kain, same story, but Spears, put a pin in it until the Jaden review. Titus, no. Yuna, still generally okay in most content, but in PvP, probably not quite good enough to get there. Auron, interestingly, got a whole bunch of extra resistance, and you think that he would be good, but he still falls very short. There is some good stuff with Auron's upgrades, but it still falls short of the mark, especially against newer ice units. Noctis. Noctis is kind of interesting. Again, mostly just because his follow-up attack can reduce single target resistance, and in combination with certain units, he can potentially do some cool stuff. Now, again, he can do that kind of stuff. Mostly his advantage comes from other still strong earth units to potentially pull him up. And I mean, unless you're doing some kind of like second hit team, I don't think that most people will be too concerned about him. Prompto is still pretty bad, mainly just because Prompto still has height issues, still has map issues. There are parts where he can be good, but let's face it, Dark is still currently one of the best elements in the game, and just better units exist. Aranea has an Ice Spear. You think that Jaden coming to the game would potentially push her up, and it might, but for right now, at least from the pre-Jaden footage I saw, Aranea is still pretty bad, and she's going to need more upgrades on global if people really are thinking that she's worthy of an upgrade, in my opinion. Golbez, I haven't really seen too much of. Apologies, but I mean, unless you're doing a full dark magic team, which cuts Sephiroth off, which feels kind of bad, I don't think Golbez is too amazing. Lightning in combination with Bart's is pretty cool because you can just get follow-up attacks with follow-up attacks with a bunch of other stuff just from Lightning's range. She's generally pretty strong and her 140 made her stronger. So I think Lightning is at least worthy of consideration. I haven't seen anything of Hope yet, so he might be amazing, but you're never going to find out in this video. And last but not least, Snow, who is probably the best of all the upgrades. I mean, Cecil is probably the one that takes him the furthest from where he was. Snow is just really solid still and really good unit, and his 140 is really good. So not too terribly much that needs to be said there. I think Snow is now comparable for strike-based teams who are like don't have Alphonse from the Full Metal Alchemist. You can potentially go this route instead. So there you go, a bit of a summary from what I have gleaned about these units from various places, not just Peachin, but other videos from what I've had time to watch lately. If I was to pick my top, my favorites from all of the Final Fantasy Pixel Master upgrades, Cecil, Snow, Lightning, and Noctis are the ones that I think have accelerated the most, and are the ones, who knows, maybe Global will give them a little more upgrades in the future. So thanks so much for watching, take care, and see you next time.